Good evening, wrestling fans. Welcome back to another edition of Evolution of Pro Wrestling. Tonight, we are going to have the distinct honor and pleasure, excuse me, on via phone to bring on to the show one of the, in my opinion, that I've seen so far in the indie scene, the best heel in the business. The man has won numerous titles all over the indie scene. He's the current Atomic Rapid Fire champion. He's also part of the Brothers in Arms. The Atomic Tag Team Champion. So this man has won titles all over Florida. We are going to be welcoming into the show one half of the Brothers in Arms, Mr. Jason Dugan. We're going to bring him on shortly.
Your call has been forwarded to it.
Guess Mr. Dugan was unavailable. Let's check him again. Something must be going on. We're getting sent to voicemail. Okay, I believe there's probably something technical going on with Mr. Dugan. But as we wait for Jason Dugan, we're going to give him another try in just a few moments. This Friday, we're going to be doing a brief review on this year's Royal Rumble. It's going to be one that probably going to be the best Royal Rumble there is. And it's just, I'm excited to be watching that show because that leads to the road to WrestleMania. And when it comes to WrestleMania, you never know what's going to happen. Okay, let's try him again.
Hello?
Mr. Dugan, Lewis of Evolution of Pro Wrestling. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. What's up, man?
I'm good. We have you live on Facebook, all the fans, everyone watching the indie talent. You know, we've heard a lot about you in the indie scene, the championships you won, the things you've done in professional wrestling. The fans want to hear about that. Do you mind telling them about it?
No. What do you want to know?
Well, we know first off, you are the current Atomic Rapid Fire champion. Probably the longest reigning cruiserweight champion in Atomic history in the indie scene, as well as part of the Atomic Tag Team Champions with the Brothers in Arms. Now, this coming event for ARW, it's going to be pretty much off the charts. You and one half of the Brothers in Arms are defending the tag team titles against two legends in ECW, Just Incredible and Raven. How do you see yourselves going into that match?
First off, I have so much respect for Raven and Just Incredible, and they actually paved the way for anyone that's in the indie scene. These are the guys that were pretty much the outlaws of wrestling. They came from ECW, so they were changing the landscape of wrestling. And Alex's vision at Atomic for the last 3 years is all about changing the landscape. Pretty much outlaws, just doing your own thing, your own style. And Brothers in Arms has proven that multiple times. Zach Monstar, Wes Bristol, hell, even Jesse Neal. So it's like the event's passing the torch. So I have a lot of respect going into that match with them. I'm actually excited, but when it comes to big match, field type stuff, I'm used to it, or at least yeah, you know what, I'm used to it. So I'm nervous, but I'm not nervous because I know we'll have one hell of a match.
Well, I have no doubt. You know, it's going to be an epic match. You know, you proving yourself to be able to compete with the best. You know, you've competed against Jesse Neal, Wes Briscoe, two former TNA Impact superstars. You've also mentioned before you trained with the legendary Hall of Famer Larry Sabisco. How was that in your mind when you're training with one of the living legend? You know, the man was a crippler in the WCW, also fought for WWE. How did that feel training with him?
He had a lot of knowledge. He's very, very knowledgeable. Like, he can get you ready. I mean, Larry's at that age where, you know, he's not getting in the ring like he used to. And it's cool because, you know what, learning from guys like that, Larry Sabisco, I consider it a dying breed. I learned a lot working Elijah, you know, the Pope. I learned a lot working him. He reminds me of Larry because it's rare that you find a guy that has just this mentality of wrestling. And you can just learn by working with them or just training with them. So it's great to learn from those kind of guys because it comes from a dying breed. And, you know, it's an honor. You know, it's a blessing. That's all I can really say because not a lot of guys that's been 3 years in has had the opportunities, you know, such as myself has had.
No, absolutely.
A lot of guys with 3 years would love to wrestle Raven or Just Incredible, would love to be in the ring with, you know, a Pope, you know, Jesse Neal or Wes, you know, Adam Rose. Yeah, so blessed is really the word I can think of.
Well, no, absolutely. I completely respect that. When you mentioning the Pope, I seen those two matches, and you guys put on pretty much a superb match of technical wrestling. You know, the way you were moving in the ring, the way Elijah was moving in the ring, it's like that was my son's favorite match out of the last event that we saw. So no, absolutely. It's the way you are, as you know, that heel that you are. You know, I haven't seen a good heel like that in years. You know, besides Roddy Piper or Edge. You know, some people say Baron Corbin. You know, I beg to differ, but it's still, you know, you just go with it. You pull no punches, and that's what brings the good talent out of you. You know, now we mentioned that you were the Atomic Tag Team Champions as well. We also saw that you are one half of the Riot Wrestling Tag Team Champions.
Yeah. We hold the Riot Tag titles. We hold championships at a lot of different places. But yeah, Riot as well. We're two-time tag champions there now. We actually lost the belt. We were stripped from the titles when new management came through, and they made us go through this whole tag team gauntlet type deal. Us being, you know, drawing the last number. So, yeah, we're the Riot Tag Champions. We're actually scheduled to wrestle Critical Mayhem. I don't know if you're familiar with these guys.
Yeah, I've heard of them. It's going to be a pretty tough tag team match, you know, but like Alex Red says, never bet on Brothers in Arms.
That's true. I mean,
Never, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. Never go against the Brothers in Arms. When you're a betting man, go with the Brothers in Arms. I had to change that. I'm sorry.
And it's true because we're the tag team that people, you know, be like, all they do is cheat to win. You know, listen, win is a win.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think I've proven that from all the different promotions I've been at, out of state. Florida, and then you know we got a lot of good opportunities coming this year. I mean, thinking about it in February, we're wrestling for the Mid Florida tag titles, and yeah, you know we got one goal in mind, February 8th for Mid Florida. We're leaving with those tag titles, and we'll bring them right to Atomic, just like we did the Riot tag titles.
Absolutely, and I have no doubt that that will go down. You know, with the talent of the Brothers in Arms, with you, Ray Zion, and JD Amazing, it's bound to happen. Now, I usually ask the talent that comes on the show this question. I'm going to ask you the same question. If you had a choice right now to pick a dream match between you and an opponent, and this could be anywhere, AEW, NXT, independent promotions, WWE, who would that be?
That's a tough question. It's a tough one because it's so, like, you mean like anywhere?
I'll give you 3.
All right, give me 3. Oh?
Yeah, you got 3. I'll give you three opponents.
Okay. You want me to give you 3?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, that's kind of rough.
Sorry.
Montez from Street Profit. He is someone that I would love to work. Crime Time. Love Brotherton versus Crime Time. And Brotherton versus LAX. The old LAX.
Those are very impressive picks. And I would have no doubt those would be excellent matches. But what about a singles competition?
Singles, I would have to say. There's so many different people to pick. It's very hard, man. Yeah, it's just now, like I said, Montez Ford would be one of the people I would pick. Singles.
Yeah.
Man, it's such a hard question because there's so many good talents out there. It's really hard. I would love to work Jericho. He's one that I would definitely love to work. Man, and then for some reason Apollo Crews stands in my mind. I really like him.
That's good. Those are really good picks too. Now, do we see heavyweight championship gold coming towards Jason Dugan?
Never say never. I have a belief in, people are meant to be in a certain place. I'm not a heavyweight, so I feel like if the heavyweight championship was put on me, yay for me, it's easy to win, but hard to keep.
Well, hey, look at history. Rey Mysterio was world heavyweight champion. You had who else? Kofi Kingston was WWE champion. These guys were kind of smaller people. You know what I mean? So
I do hope one day I do win the Conference Heavyweight Championship. I do hope that one day. I hope. I've been with Atomic for 3 years. I'm the general manager. I could have just West and then put title on myself, call myself a champion, but I respect everyone on the roster despite some of the decisions I do make. I make the decisions I make because it's a business at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
I respect West. I don't respect the punch he gave me, but I respect West as a heavyweight champion, especially with this ECW thing going on.
Yeah.
I don't want no Shane Douglas running with the heavyweight championship.
Absolutely.
I also don't want to see West Briscoe with the heavyweight championship.
Well, only time will tell. Now, before we go, Mr. Dugan, I got one more question for you. Say, for example, an agent just comes up to you and says, I have a contract. I have a contract for NXT, AEW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Which one would you pick? Or, if you don't pick one, would you rather stay in the indie scene?
I like the indies, but I would probably take my chances with. It's hard because they're great promotions.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are great promotions. To get me better, I would probably pick NXT. Not against New Japan. New Japan isn't my style, not my deal. I watch very little of it. My partner's more into it. AEW. Like I said, once you work with someone like a Pope or Adam Rose, you learn what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. I love AEW.
respect that. That's I know many superstars that are watching that now, and fans that are watching, you know, they commend you for that. You know, that's something that not too many people say about the wrestling business. You know, the wrestling business is something of passion. I love the wrestling business. You know, I don't do this podcast for money. I do it for the love of the business. And I respect guys like you that put their body on the line to put a show on, to entertain our fans and do what needs to be done in professional wrestling.
And I appreciate, like, the podcast. It helps. That podcast, you know, I talked to another podcast guy that wants to put me on his podcast, and I mentioned, you know, you guys are the guys that help indie talent, you know, get discovered. If it's 5 people, 6 people, 100 people, 200 people, it doesn't matter. You're giving indie wrestlers a platform to introduce themselves to a different wave of fans. I've had a good example. I did a match that has Superhuman. So most of these people are watching Superhuman are discovering these other wrestlers, you know. I mean, Superhuman ain't a wrestler, but he has his little band. And somebody discovered me through, you know, the Superhuman match. And said that, hey, you know, I really like watching this guy. I'm going to start watching this guy. So, you know, it's anywhere the platform to help get your name out there.
And I totally agree. Definitely agree. Well, Mr. Dugan, it has been a pleasure having you on the show, sir. We will be there in February 21st to watch the Atomic event that we're definitely looking forward to that tag team match. It's just going to be superb, and we wish you the best of luck in your career, and we'll see you then.
Thank you, man. You guys have a good night.
Absolutely. You as well, sir. Thank you.
All right.
There you have it, fans. Jason Dugan. He's going to be at Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling February 21st, defending the tag team titles against Raven and Justin Credible, 2 ECW legends. As always, fans, thank you for joining us. Please follow us at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. From all of us here, from myself, Louis, my producer and director, Yesenia,
and Jay.